Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto news edition. Today we'll be looking over the stories that are making the headlines in the crypto world, and we're going to just jump right in and look at CoinMarketCap. So I'll just dive over just now and see what is happening with CoinMarketCap and see where we are just now. Okay, we have an overall market capitalization is down to $246 billion. It was around about 250 earlier on today, but down to 246. So Bitcoin has fell by about $150. So we're down to 7,738. And it looks as if it's gone down, but we'll take a look at the charts after this. Who is the winners? Chainlink up 17%, Metaverse ETP up 13%, Decentraland up 10%. All the rest, a lot of them are in green, but no double digits. So 3 in double digit greens. We've got about 20% in green. Not by that much, just scraping into green, and a lot of these are kind of the stable coins as well. The losers: Maximind Coin, Monocoin, Bitcoin SMV or Bitcoin SV, Bytum, Omisi Go, Ravencoin, Tron, Biton, Ethereum Classic, Aeon, all down as well. So not looking good at the moment. We'll dive over to the Bitcoin chart. We are down to 7,700 at the moment, and it looks as if we're falling down further. This is on the 4-hour chart. It took a big drop just over the last hour or so, over the last couple of hours. So it did get as high as 7,864 and dropped by about $197 to as low as 7,700. It was lower than that actually. Where are we? 7,661. But it's trying to creep back up. So this is on the hourly chart, and it looked as if we were going to cross over. We were going to get a crossover on the hourly chart, but it didn't materialize. So it could be that we're going to go down further from here unless there's a complete reversal. So it's on a knife edge just now. I'm still of the opinion that it's going to shoot up in the next couple of days to 9,000, then up to 10,000, then up to 11,000. But we really need to wait and see. It needs some kind of level of support. And the next level really, can't really say, the next level of support is really down to around about the 7,000 level. 7,100 level. It could bounce off the 50 EMA from there. But yeah, about the 7,000 level is where I'm seeing the next level of support. If we drop below that, we're going down to 6,400. Below that, we could go down to 5,800. And that's on the daily. Okay, we'll look at some of the news stories that are making the headlines today. Facebook sued by Dutch media tycoon over scam and Bitcoin ads. So, Billionaire claims Facebook turns a blind eye to scams. So on Wednesday, Reuters reported that John DeMol, the billionaire businessman behind the popular reality TV show Big Brother, was suing Facebook for publishing false advertisements which used his name to carry out Bitcoin-related investment fraud. Now, this has happened a couple of times. Somebody over here, Martin Lewis, it happened to as well, that people were kind of putting ads up and claiming that it was Martin Lewis that was saying to invest in Bitcoin. And I don't know if he sued them or not, but it did happen to them as well, or it did happen to Martin Lewis. So the same thing is happening to John DeMol as well. So I've never seen these ads myself, but Facebook says we're working on it. It's just another kick in the stones for Facebook, to be honest. A lot of people are down on Facebook just now. And there's another news story coming out that Facebook is coming out with their own cryptocurrency, and that will be out, they're saying, by the end of June. So more details will come out by the end of June. So that's the billionaire suing Facebook. Not brilliant or perfect timing for Facebook, but the case is going to continue. Ethereum startups team to offer banking-grade wallet security. So 2 Ethereum startups have teamed up to help bring bank account-like protection to users of the second largest blockchain. Insurance cooperative Nexus Mutual and wallet provider Argent plan to offer a combination of smart contracts and insurance to keep agent users' funds safe from hackers. First, the smart contract is designed to prevent thieves from draining a wallet by temporarily freezing transfers above a daily spending limit to addresses that aren't on the user's whitelist. And the user has 24 hours to cancel the frozen transfer, much like a bank might step in and prevent card fraud or similar suspicious activities on an account. Now, is that really like a bank? This is what we're kind of trying to move away from. However, I can understand where they're coming from here. but this is what we're trying to move away from. So if I have 100 kind of Ethereum or 200 Ethereum or 300, whatever it is, and I try to move it out, I suppose if it's on a whitelist, I can understand it. It's just, I don't like the fact that we're going to be stopped from using our Ethereum or our Bitcoin, or kind of selling our Bitcoin or sending it to somewhere else and having to do what banks do. And I can understand why the banks do it for security. So I mixed feelings about that. I think there has to be a better way of doing it than that. So that is a kind of an Ethereum kind of startup team. They're going to offer that as well. I thought that was quite interesting. And I want to thank at this stage all the news stories, not all of them, but a lot of the news stories are kind of curated by Adeb, one of our Brown admins, Rob, one of our Brown admins, James, and Mike D, our Brown admins as well. So thank you very much to everybody who kind of curates the news stories and sends them along in the group that we've got for that. And obviously I've got news stories that I get from Crypto Compare as well, which is really good. Peter Schiff bashes Bitcoin again as gold is skyrocketing. We'll have a look at gold just now. Can we see it here? Nope. Gold. So what price is gold just now? It's gone up to $1,335. However, if you look at it, it's kind of crossed over. We do it. Well, I do the crossovers. And look at the crossovers, and it's gone up from 1,288 to 1,335. However, it's gone up really from 1,207 to 1,340, but it's only up 11%. Only up 11%. Now, if this was crypto, and they said, okay, XRP is skyrocketing, it's just going up hugely, and you went to look at it and getting really excited and going, well, man, it's only up 10%. 10% is just the norm in crypto. But you have to understand in the stock markets and the gold and kind of FX as well, 10% is a huge amount. It's just we're so used to getting kind of 5%, 10%. Well, we're getting used to 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50. But when somebody says gold is skyrocketing, I checked out this morning and I thought, what? That's only kind of 10% over the last 6 months or something. It's more than that actually. How many months is it since it kind of went up? 168 days. 168 days. No, 238 days. Sorry, that's 168. But that's 238 days. So it's from October to June 2000. And what's that? 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 months. It's gone up 10%. We balk at that. We get 10% in a day a lot of the time in crypto. So I thought I'd check that out. But when I seen this headline, so Peter Schiff, an American stockbroker and financial commentator, is back at bashing Bitcoin. Earlier this week, Peter Schiff and Barry Silber, co-founder of Grayscale Investments, they initiated the Drop Gold campaign, logged on to the SALT conference. So gold is skyrocketing, apparently 11% in the last 9 months. Huge amount, not. So I don't think we'll be buying gold anytime soon. But that kind of leads me on to what I wanted to talk about again, and that is the 3 to 6 millionaire strategy. Now, I've told you about this before. I've told the kind of channel about this before. I'm not saying you, because you might not have seen the channel, but this is a strategy whereby you use compounding effect to get into trades and get from 3 zeros to 6 zeros. And that's why it's called the 3 to 6. So from $1,000 to $1 million. So if you started with $1,000 and you're getting 30% gains on each trade, you could effectively, theoretically, get up to $1 million within 27 trades. So after 27 trades, you'd be up to $1 million. If you use the miracle of compounding, if you use that, that is, if you go in and with a startup capital of 1,000, you get 30%, you go up to $1,300. You use that $1,300, go into the next trade, then you go up to $1,690. You use that to go into the next trade, and so on and so forth. It becomes difficult when you get up to probably 50,000, or maybe between 50 and 100,000, because you would have to split your pot, because it would be difficult to trade on Binance. If we were to go into Binance just now and say we want to buy one of the smaller tokens, so 50,000 divided by 7,700 is about 7 Bitcoin. So if we wanted to buy, say for example, one of the smaller tokens, and we'll say ADX, for example. So we want to buy 7 Bitcoin worth of ADX, so that'd be 364,000. Now you can see here, looking at the order books, that you couldn't buy 364,000 without it affecting the order books massively, or without it affecting the market, the ADX market massively. So that's where it would become difficult for the 3 to 6 kind of millionaire strategy. But effectively you can do it. And in the premium group, we're regularly getting kind of 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% on the calls that I make in a premium group, which is now closed. You can join a free group. There's a link down below, but you can join a free group. But you can effectively get 30% gains. Or even if we go for a modest 10% gain, we started with $1,000. How many trades would it take to get to $1 million? It would take 74 trades, sorry. 74 trades to get to $1 million. If you started off with 1,000 and you're making 10% on every single trade. Theoretically, it's highly possible. If you've got the discipline, you could do it, because you really have to have discipline. I mean, I've been doing this and testing out on and off, because when kind of Bitcoin crashes and everything crashes with it, you kind of race to cover yourself, then you forget about the 3 to 6 millionaire crypto ladder or the strategy, and then you kind of revert to form. But over the last month or so, I've been using it again and trying to stick to it, just going for the 10%, moving the stop loss up so I can maximize the returns. It's working. I've doubled my money so far, and hopefully I can get up to, I don't know what I'm up to just now. I'll probably be on level 12, 13. So possibly another, if I keep on going the way I'm going just now, with 10% gains, got another 50 trades or something before I get to $1 million. It'll be quite cool. So we'll see what happens with that. But 3 to 6 millionaire strategy, or millionaire crypto ladder, you can effectively, theoretically do that as well. If you're to get 50% gains and you're to start out with $10,000, all you need is 12 trades to get to $1 million. 12 trades at 50% gains on each. And you can see with kind of Binance just now, there's a few, not 50%ers, but you've got Link is 17%, One, that's gone up over 50% in the last few days. So where has it gone? One has gone from 227, it's gone up 75%. Fetch, how much has that gone up over the last few days? 38%. Matic has shot up as well. That's gone up 42%. So you could see there are a lot of trades out there. You could make 50% on each. So if you started off with $10,000 and you got 50% on each of them, and for 12 trades, I think that is highly doable, but it becomes impractical once you get up to the kind of 50 to 100,000 level. But I thought I'd share that with you anyway. Okay, back to the news. Cardano has updated the roadmap at last. So talking about Shelly, Shelly is going to be, well, I've been talking about Shelly for a long time. This is really, essentially, it's proof of stake. I've been waiting for this for a long time, but when is it going to be implemented? Probably by Q4 of this year. Probably by Q4 of this year. So we're going to see that. So they've spoke about it. Obviously, they're working on it just now, and in parallel, they're working on the kind of next release, which is Gauguin, and I think named after a computer scientist. And Basho is coming up next as well. That's 2020, and Voltaire after the French philosopher, 2021. Basho is a Japanese poet. Shelley is obviously Mary Shelley, the writer, Frankenstein, and Lord Byron, kind of poet and politician as well, the British poet and politician as well. So all these kind of releases here, this is the updates to the roadmap. So Shelley, obviously that's the big one for the proof of stake as well. Lots going on at Cardano. It's just taking time. Cardano is not a jump in and jump out kind of project to go in when we're trading. This is for the long term, and this is why I think it's good to just collect or accumulate Cardano just now. So they have brought out the roadmap, which is really good. Ethereum price is hopelessly tied to Bitcoin's next big move. We kind of know this anyway. So basically what they're saying here, the Bitcoin is, you could almost overlay the charts for Bitcoin and Ethereum over the past couple of weeks, and see hardly any difference, which is very true. When Bitcoin price was 7,745, surged to its 2009 all-time high of 9,100. Ethereum mirrored the action with a pump to $285, its highest in 9 months. So it's just saying where next for Ethereum. So Ethereum daily chart, you can see 10 EMA curling down now. That will be resistance on any up move, and has been. We'd like to see a huge bounce off the 50 EMA where a fib cluster awaits. That area is 209 to 212. It's still going to mimic Bitcoin. I think it's going to mimic Bitcoin. I need to wait and see. Same with all the big ones, same with all the alts as well, really. It's kind of mimicking Bitcoin unless there's big surges down or up. Just now. Facebook said to reveal own cryptocurrency in June, report says. So social media giant Facebook is said to reveal its own cryptocurrency later this month. According to a report from the information on Wednesday, Facebook is poised to unveil its cryptocurrency to the public later in June, which is aimed to allow users to process transactions via the social media channel and will be offered to Facebook employees who want to be paid in the form of cryptocurrency. Now, is this going to be good for Facebook? Is it going to be good for cryptocurrency or the cryptosphere as a whole? Yes, I think it is. I said this morning on live, that a lot of people are saying, well, Facebook has not got the right demographics. They've got 2.2 billion people on Facebook every single day, but they're saying they've not got the right demographics. Say a quarter of the world's population, more than a quarter of the world's population, are on Facebook at any one point, kind of every day nearly. And they're saying they've not got the right demographics. I think they have got the right demographics. So what's going to happen, because we've not reached mass adoption yet with regards to cryptocurrency, we're nowhere near it. We're still at the very early stages of cryptocurrency and people using it. Once we do reach mass adoption, then that demographic that's on Facebook just now will be cryptocurrency users. So it's not about the demographics coming to Facebook to use cryptocurrency. It's about the demographic using Facebook and cryptocurrency becoming the mass adoption or becoming mass adopted. And they're already on there. They already know about the Facebook coin. They already know about cryptocurrency. So then that's when things are really going to start to happen. So Facebook coin is going to be a good thing for bringing in the masses. And we'll have to think about how we got involved in Bitcoin, how we got involved in cryptocurrency. You've seen some YouTube channels, you've seen it in the news, you kind of decided to research it, and you fell into it that way and slowly began to learn about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain and the underlying technology. That's how the Facebook users are going to do it as well. And that's what's happening just now. So don't let this fool you. Facebook is going to be big and it's going to be good for the cryptosphere as a whole. Even if you don't like them, if you don't like what's happened over the last year or so, what's been revealed, it is what it is just now. But the kind of bottom line is they've got 2.2 billion people they can onboard into the cryptosphere. 2.2 billion, 30% of the world's population. Think about that. It is going to be good. Bitcoin analyst pinpoints gigantic buying area for BTC. So a leading crypto analyst and economist is outlining Bitcoin's next levels of support. According to Alex Kruger, BTC is still in the danger zone, with a crucial line of support at 6,800. If Bitcoin dips below that level, Kruger says Bitcoin will have essentially retraced down to the technical start of 2019's bull run and will be a gigantic buying area. So he's got here in his tweet, BTC is still vulnerable. Longs once above 7,900 or on panic flushes lower. Next support 7,600 all the way down to 6,400. 6,800 is major, determined by all three price action, moving averages 50 DMA, and fibs December lows to 2019. 6,400 is the bull market level. So meanwhile, crypto analysts, as Galaxy told his 52,000 followers on Twitter, the traders at large are now overly bearish on Bitcoin. And Galaxy says Bitcoin's recent pullback is a temporary and necessary retracement, given BT's big move from around 3,700 at the start of the year to a high of just over 9,000. So it is natural that this is happening as well. It is manipulated, of course it is. We don't see big drops like that for nothing, but it is natural for it to happen as well. So we have to think about that. Beyond Bitcoin, how to make money with blockchain. So this is, I'm going to post a link to this instead of starting to kind of talk about it. It's talking about the different ways you can do it with airdrops, with hodling, with Bitcoin Faucet. I thought it was quite interesting. So I'll post that link for you. And it's I just wonder if we can get it up here. No, I'll post a link for you because it just gives you a quick rundown of all the ways to kind of make money with cryptocurrency. So I thought it was quite good. And I think I'm going to leave it there for the moment. We'll go back to Bitcoin just now. Make a short one today. $7,691. So it still looks as if we're going to go down just now. What's kind of heading? Binance just now, Link 1, Enigma, Fetch, Matic, PHP, TPO, QKC, NXS, KMD, Mana, Fuel, Fun, ZRX. So there's a couple of pages in the green, well more than a couple of pages in the red. So it's all eyes on Bitcoin at the moment. So this is really on a knife's edge just now. Coming up the weekend as well, which is traditionally not so good for Bitcoin. I think it's going to be a bumper weekend for Bitcoin. Okay, until next time, namaste, take care, bye now.